This is Courtney Engel, and you're watching Streamlining Social Media, Episode 12. In today's special edition, you'll see my daily social media workflow. To watch this in full, go to CourtneyEngel.com or download it through iTunes. So, on a daily basis, I check lots of different stuff happening around the web, and people often ask, where are you going? If you have a question, a tip, trick, product review, how-to, any of these things, you could go to formspring.me/Courtney Engel. Again, that's formspring.me/Courtney Engel and ask me a question. So to get started, we're looking at a website called Remember the Milk, rememberthemilk.com, and this is my list of things I check on a daily basis. The first thing I look at is always Google Reader. I live and breathe inside of Google Reader. Google Reader lets me subscribe to the news. It comes to me rather than me going out to it. So I've accumulated a lot of different articles. If I really like something, I'll come in here and click on like and share and send it out to the web. And I have it set to automatically tell my Twitter account that I've shared an article, and that gives you wonderful things to review. Now, if I can't see the entire article, I have some extra add-ons or extensions in Firefox that show me the article inside of it. It's called Better G Reader, and it's an extension for Firefox. You could also use this as a way to email people about the article. And so I emailed an interesting article to my sister earlier. I could skim through all of these headlines. No, I do not read every article. I use it as a way to skim and see what I need to know. Some blogs I read all the time, such as Randy Gage's blog. And I might even track out to his website and leave a comment on the actual site itself rather than just a comment inside of Google Reader. It depends upon, the interest that I have in a particular article, but leaving the comment there, it can work actually to both Randy's advantage and to mine as well. So I'll submit the comment, and I'll track back over to what's going on in Google Reader. Here you see I have the RSS feed of all my LinkedIn questions. So I follow a couple categories in LinkedIn, have it send it to me. I see it show up in Google Reader, and then it tells me go to LinkedIn and answer something. I do similar things with press releases. I've collected press releases from PR Web and Pitch Engine and a few other places. And before I'm done, I will go to the top left and see what new people are following me. I probably get 6 to 8 new requests at least every day in Google Reader. So I'm done with that. Here on the right side, you'll see how often I check this, and I set up a link so that I could click to go to it, and you see about how long I'm estimating that I'll be there and all of that. I'll click complete and move on. The next one that I'll go to is the Twitter following. So every day I want to see who's new and following me. Thanks to the website FormULists, I have a couple of lists that are private, and they will automatically update on a daily basis, such as people that just started following me, people that are like somebody else in the industry, people that recently unfollowed me. So I'll go in and manage on a daily basis my Twitter lists. That task is complete, so moving right along, we'll check out BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed is a website that just shows me what's new and happening on the web. It's a collection of what's going viral. So I'll scroll through this and look at the different articles that are going on. If I find something of interest, such as all of the animal deaths dying, I will click on the article and say, whoa, that's kind of neat. Everyone's mapping out where the animal deaths are happening, sadly, and I'll tweet the article. The next thing I usually check out is pop URLs. It's, again, a collection of just what's happening and what's going viral right now on the web. So I'll skim through this and share accordingly as I need to. And I also check out what's happening over in Technorati. I'll check through all the categories, basically, across the top menu. But I will especially focus my efforts in on the video and the blogging. These are the stories that are hot, according to Technorati, which is a catalog of all blogs on the web, basically. So I will pay particular attention to those and take a look at any of the articles that might be there. Come back and say, yes, I'm done with this. Remind me tomorrow to go back to it again. Then I'll track off to a couple of the microblogging sites like Tumblr. I'll skim through and see what's new and happening in Tumblr today, make sure it's working. Maybe post some content too if I feel interested in doing so. And then I'll look at another one similar to it, a little bit different, called Amplify. Amplify gives you a nice little Firefox plugin like you see I have in the top. And I can send things out through Posterous and through Ping FM and hit pretty much every social network I have using Amplify, but I do like to see what people are posting specifically within Amplify as well. So I'll scroll through and see what new posts other users there are making. Check to say I'm done with that for the day. And then I'll take a look, for instance, over at Google Buzz. I have a lot of my Google Reader things set up to go to Buzz along with other social profiles. I still check in for unique things happening inside of Buzz in particular. I have so many followers there, though, that, I don't really get a lot of value out of Buzz myself. But again, I'll go in, leave some comments. It doesn't hurt to check in every once in a while. Next up, I'll go through some of my LinkedIn groups. I subscribe to a lot of LinkedIn groups. I have my links set to go straight into the discussions area and see what's new in there. A lot of times it's articles that different groups that I'm a part of are posting, their RSS feed from their blog, for instance. So I'll track out and see what the article is, if I'm not already subscribing to it in Google Reader, that is. But again, it's just a reminder to interact in that group on any discussions. Next up, I'll head over to Posterous, and Posterous is similar to Tumblr, similar to WordPress. It is a blogging platform. It is a free blogging platform. It's not what I would count as my home base, but I will look and see the people that I'm subscribing to, see what's going on over there. Sometimes I have people that post unique content to that platform in particular. Next up, I'll take a look at some more viral videos. This is a website called Magma, mag.ma. And inside Magma, what's pretty interesting is it collects videos from all over the web and what's going viral in a lot of places. Here's one happening right now from YouTube, but I will also check the top 100 list. And so it knows across all sorts of platforms what the happening and hot thing is at this time. So I'll look through, the overall top 100 and complete that task for the day. Share those, of course, through Twitter and my Facebook and those other places if it's really interesting. And the next one we'll look at is Quora. And Quora is a question-based site. Think of the LinkedIn questions, but this is specific to an area. So here you see I'm looking at the one for social media. And if I look on the right-hand side, I could break it down into all the social media categories. So in this case, I'm looking at a particular question. And I'll go in and I'll read the other answers, and then I'll answer it as well. And here's a listing based on my profile of everything that I'm following. So you get an idea of going through Quora. Quora is the thing that's exploded in the last 3 weeks. Will it be popular all year? Who knows? Plaxo I check in on once a week. I have Remember the Milk set up to tell me things that are a weekly check-in. So I'll come in and confirm my connections and again, poke around, see what's happening in here. I don't spend a whole lot of time, but I do check in on occasion here. Once I'm done with that, I will go back to Remember the Milk and look at my next thing. Before I forget, I do want to send a status update out. I'm posting a quote from one of my Kindle books. I read a lot in Kindle. Copy the quote, and I will go over to my Hootsuite area, paste the quote in, cite the source, and then I'll tell Hootsuite to send it out through ping.fm. So it hits all my presence online, and I try to do something like that about once a day. So I'll check that off. That task is done. Next up, I will go in and, write a blog post for the day, and that's actually what you see me doing at the moment. This is my content. I also have a goal of Inbox Zero daily. It doesn't always happen. Check in on my Facebook email and say, what's new in my email? And then I'll check on Paper.ly. My Paper.ly account updates towards the end of the day, so I tend to look at it last. It's collecting, similar to what Flipboard does on the iPad, it's collecting news that's coming in through my Twitter account, through my Facebook account, and I can go into other Paper.lys that I've subscribed to, such as the one coming from Alltop. Alltop's a neat little website, but I'll go in and see what Alltop's Twitter list is finding. So Alltop made a list of people in Twitter, and here's all the stuff that they're finding across the web. Then I'll check back in on Facebook, maybe 2-3 more times in the afternoon. I have a lot of my things filtered by lists, so you see that I'm checking which lists that I want to scan through and see. I do want to be a person with my real-life friends, so the first places that I tend to go in Facebook is my actual real-life friends. I use Facebook like a real person, and I also use it for a business intention, too. So, I switch it over to the Techies list, and that Techies list is also displayed on my profile. You scroll down a little bit here, you see there's the techies, but I look at what all the people in the industry that I respect are posting routinely. Next thing is, once a day I try to at least check in on Google Trends, Google Trends says, here's what people are searching for hot across the web right now, and mine's set to just inside the USA. You could change those search areas if you'd like, but this is what's happening inside of the search engines. When you click on one of those particular things, again, you'll see here's a link to what everyone's talking about. It shows me the real time. So it's a lot of Twitter information. And so I could see what people are talking about real time on the web. I also check while I'm in Trends. I go over to news.google.com. News will show me the world news going on across the web. So I could see the top stories. The Mac App Store is launching this morning. I could check on news near me. I could check on categories that I've customized. Google News is a great little catch-all place for articles across the web, whether they're in my industry or not. I also do once a week check in on FeedBurner. I check in also on Webmaster Tools and Google Analytics once a week as well. So here I'm just checking the stats and seeing what's going on. I have analytics set up to be an item I check every Monday. Webmaster Tools I look at every Tuesday. So I just come in, make sure everything looks like it's doing well, see if anything interesting has happened lately. I might go in and look at my subscribers and see where they're from, see if I've increased my RSS subscription rate lately. Anything along those lines, just to be sure that everything's out and working. And I would say do the same thing in Analytics and Webmaster Tools. Make sure your links are working. I do still check Friend Feed. I love the widget on my website better than the others. I look at a handcrafted list of techies again, and so I see everything that they're posting that I may have missed, even inside of my Twitter stream, listing them apart, that's coming over to Friend Feed. But I also make sure to check in on not just what they're doing, but on my own profile as well. See if anyone's commented on it, because Friend Feed is still alive, and it's still pretty popular. So I check in here, make sure that everything looks good there. I look at it maybe only once a day these days. I'll also take a gander at digg.com. I look at the top news section in particular and the business and tech sectors. But again, you could look at everything if you'd like. And I also do check on the hot stories that are suggested to me in that top right corner. Digg is not as popular as it used to be, but I try to at least find something to look at each day, along with a comment of the day to leave somewhere. So it is still an active community. Reddit's gaining ground, but, Digg still is worth checking out, so I'll post my comment. And once doing so, you can get in and read the other comments if you like. I would also suggest that you send your blog post to Digg. There's a way to send every post that you have over to Digg automatically, so that's probably going to be worth your while as well. Once in a while, I will check in on Stumble. Stumble is more like I need a mental break, so I'm just randomly wandering around the web. Chris Penn described it as stumbling through the internet drunk, is about the same source of your traffic. It may not be all quality, but it's good to get new visitors to come in. So I downloaded the Stumble Upon toolbar, and I could go through and rank and like sites or not, and that does tell my friend feed and therefore my Twitter accounts what I've done. I'll poke in on Reddit and see what's happening in the news. That's reddit.com. See what's interesting or happening that's popular or going on right now. Sometimes I'll actually leave a comment, sometimes not, rank things, vote them up or not. Again, it's worth doing, but it's news ranking and it's not exactly as popular as it once was. I also will bookmark things over in Digo as they come up. But while I'm doing all of this work, I'm always listening to podcasts. So here's a listing of my podcasts, which you can see all the ones that I subscribe to on my website. I also listen to a lot of audiobooks and or read them on Kindle. So those will show up in my Goodreads bookmarks, books that I've reviewed. I'm also always scanning inside of Twitter. I use Hootsuite. I love Hootsuite, both on my phone and specific software on my Mac. I tend to also watch Twit Live. That's live.twit.tv for tech news. And I check in sometimes on Woopra. Woopra shows me who's on my website, what they searched to get there, and what the traffic's doing. It's a great time checking in on all the social media news that I need to know to keep you informed. If you want to check out any of the links, see the show notes on my page. This has been Courtney Engel, Streamlining Social Media, Episode 12.